It's an honor for me to receive and for the student movement to receive this award in the hands of the former leader of the Iranian brave, pro-democratic, and inspiring student movement. My name is Roberto Patiño. I'm a student from the University in Caracas, Venezuela. I'm 21 years old. Then I want you to know that I was only 10 years old when President Hugo Chavez came to power in my country. A part of the student movement in Venezuela, which is the sum of the student movement in more than 8 universities and schools, both public and private. All over the country, united by ideas such as democracy, human rights, freedom of speech, development, and eradicating poverty. Our organization is based in the student federation of every university that gathers more than 60,000 students to participate and vote for all democratic elections. It's important, it's given by the fact that 60% of the population of my country are under 30 years old. The student movement, according to all surveys, is the highest ranked institution of the country, with more than 80% of approval rate from the whole population. Let me tell you a little bit about our country. Democracy in Venezuela was implanted in 1958, and for years we were not only an example, but also a refuge for those who were escaping from bloody dictatorship or war. As you know, Venezuela has the second largest oil reserves in the world. Ironically, Venezuela is a poor country. According to a study made by a prestigious university in Venezuela, the Catholic University, 48% of the people live in poverty or extreme poverty. 35% of the people are above the line of poverty, but definitely couldn't be called middle class. We're talking about 83% of the people in the country that have serious social and economic problems. In accordance with this study, historically, poverty in Venezuela has been treated on its consequences and not on its causes. That hasn't changed. Democracy gets weak if it doesn't deliver good social services. That is the reason why, according to some researchers, as UNPG in the UN, or more recently, Latinobarometer, which is a prestigious NGO from Chile, a significant sector of the population in our continent, prefer economic growth over democracy. Luckily, that number has gone down, maybe in part by the lessons that countries like Indonesia or India are giving to the world. But I would like to emphasize that despite the social crisis in my country, Venezuela is one of the 5 countries in the region that values democracy more than all other indicators. We are not willing to sacrifice it for greater economic growth. For Venezuela, as Amanda said, expressed in the inaugural speech of the World Movement of Democracy, democracy is not a luxury. In Venezuela, we are all experiencing a radicalization and political awakening, and that phenomenon is most significant in the youth. In the last year, the Latinobarometer investigation concluded as a result that for Latin Americans, Venezuela's young people are the most committed and show the strongest solidarity. When the survey asked about how much get information about politics, the third mention after television and radio was the family. This shows value and means that in our region we are going through a reinterpretation of our role as responsible citizens. I believe that information builds consciousness, which is essential for democracy. In consequence, less information is less consciousness, less democracy. Since 2007, we have experienced lots of attacks on information from the government, coming in the frame of a very despotic, undemocratic, and authoritarian behavior. They closed the TV television channel and more than 36 radio stations. Journalists have been dead, and even the owner of a TV channel was put in jail, all for being critical to the government. In this right moment, a former presidential candidate and an ex-president of the National Assembly is in jail because of sharing his opinion in a TV show. As Ibrahim said on the first day, freedom of speech, not freedom after speech. We have stood against these practices and have had massive and passive people manifestations in the street. Tear gas, rubber bullets, threats, jail, and even death have been their response instead of dialogue and understanding. Democracy is about the rule of law and respect to the Constitution. Our Constitution was reformed in 1999 with the arrival of Chavez in power. He tried to reform it again in 2007, which was rejected by the people in a public referendum. He proposed then a constitutional amendment and a new education law. We have been protesting and reinforcing through several campaigns the need to get out to vote against those initiatives and organizing to monitor elections, as Ali said. But we have paid a high price. Besides repression, a fellow student spent around 2 months in one of the most dangerous jails in the world for his participation in one of the peaceful demonstrations. We did a hunger strike, and they had to let him go. We were hundreds of students nationwide in that peaceful but extreme measure of solidarity. Democracy is about justice and the independence of power. 4 months ago, one judge made a decision about letting go a political prisoner that had spent 2 years in jail without a hearing. That decision was based in our Constitution. 15 minutes later, the judge was in jail. Incredibly, she's now serving a jail sentence next to the prisoners she herself put in jail. And because of this, her life is frequently threatened. The president went in a national broadcast and asked 30 years of prison for her. 2 weeks ago, we were in the American Commission on Human Rights telling our position regarding the violations of justice and the criminalization of persons in our country. There's a long list of violations and lots of other examples, but I have little time now to describe. Let me assure you, we're going to keep defending our democracy in peaceful ways. We are committed to changing our country, to leave poverty behind, to work for those in need. We have organized social projects that have its goal to take the students closer to the poor community, to apply our knowledge, to help solve those issues, to transmit the knowledge we have acquired in our universities, to exchange ideas about how we improve our democracy. We, the students, have had many opportunities, information, education, but that comes with a great responsibility. This year, we're having an important election in Venezuela. Our National Assembly is being renewed. We have a project called Vote, which means you vote, which consists